Welcome to the story of Gucci. Today, you will hear about a famous fashion brand from Italy. It's not just about clothes and bags, it's a big story with dreams, fights, and a mystery. The words are easy, so listen well and enjoy. The story of Gucci is more than just fashion. It is a story full of drama. Imagine a family with big dreams, big fights, and big problems. This is the Gucci family. They created a famous brand known all over the world. Gucci is now worth a lot, about $15 billion. Everyone sees the amazing clothes and bags. It looks like a fairy tale. But behind the beautiful things, there is a true story. It has family fights, love, sadness, and even murder. This book tells you more than just the fairy tale. We will look at the real people and events that made Gucci what it is today. We will see hidden stories and people often forgotten in this famous brand's history. 2. The family fights. In Italy, people say something about family businesses. The first generation starts it, the second makes it bigger, and the third, they often break it. This almost happened to the Gucci family. It began with Guccio Gucci. He had a dream. He wanted to make beautiful leather goods, very good quality. He sold them to tourists from America and Europe. His sons, Rodolfo and Aldo, took over after him. They each owned half of Gucci. Aldo was great at growing the business. He was good at selling and took Gucci outside Italy. Then came the third generation. This is when problems started. Aldo had 3 sons, Roberto, Giorgio, and Paolo. Together with their father, they owned half of Gucci. Maurizio Gucci, Rodolfo's only son, owned the other half. The Gucci family became famous for fighting. These were not small arguments. They were big fights that went to court. Domenico de Sole, a lawyer, knew a lot about this. He started working for Rodolfo in the early 1980s. He saw how messy the family was. Domenico said Aldo's sons thought their father made Gucci successful. They wanted more power than they had. They wanted more than just their father's share. They argued a lot for years, but nothing changed. Maurizio kept his half of the company. This made the family matter. Maurizio had his own ideas for Gucci. He wanted it to be a fancy brand with top quality and classic style. But his uncle Aldo and cousins didn't agree. They liked things as they were. They made lots of money selling the Gucci name on many products. They didn't want change. Maurizio had trouble at home too. His wife, Patricia, wanted him to be a big boss, a real Mr. Gucci in Milan. She pushed him hard, but Maurizio felt too much stress. In 1985, he left Patricia. This was a big change for him and the family. Around that time, something shocking happened. Paolo Gucci, Aldo's son, told the American tax office about his father. Paolo thought Aldo hid money and didn't pay taxes. This started a big check. Domenico de Sole remembers a meeting where Maurizio asked him how bad it was. Domenico said in America, money problems like this were very serious, not like Italy. Some family didn't think it was a big deal. But Aldo was caught and went to jail for money trouble. After this, Domenico's job at Gucci grew. He was told to run Gucci America and fix the money problems. Gucci was still famous all over the world. Aldo was smart, opening shops in places like Japan and Hong Kong. But Gucci products were getting worse. They sold in too many places. The brand felt less special, less fancy. The family fights started to hurt Gucci. It was hard to keep the quality good and the fancy feeling alive. The family's problems became everyone's problems. 3. Losing control. Fancy brands are special. They must stay careful to keep that special feeling. It's easy to want to sell more and make more money, but selling too much makes the brand less special. Gucci had this problem before. They wanted to be popular everywhere, so they sold in too many places. Sometimes, the quality wasn't as good as before. This made Gucci feel less special. For fancy brands, being special is key. People buy them because they feel rare. Not everyone can have them. The buying experience matters too. People want to feel good when they buy fancy things. They want nice service. They want to trust the brand is real and high quality. Brands must protect what makes them special. Maurizio Gucci knew this. He had a plan for Gucci. He wanted it more fancy, more expensive, more rare. He wanted Gucci products to be top quality again. But Maurizio had a problem. He didn't have enough money to buy his family's shares. They owned parts of Gucci too. Then Maurizio met Andrea Moranti. Andrea worked at a bank called Morgan Stanley. Andrea saw Gucci was strong. He helped Maurizio make a secret plan. They wanted to buy shares from Aldo and his cousins. They asked a company called InvestCorp for money help. To buy shares, they needed secrets. Maurizio knew his family well. He knew Paolo was mad at his father, Aldo. Paolo felt Aldo treated him badly. Andrea used this. He made a deal with Paolo. He offered Paolo the same money as his brothers, even though Paolo had less shares before. Paolo said yes and sold his shares. Andrea even brought cash in a suitcase to pay Paolo fast. This deal with Paolo was big. It started a change in Gucci. Other families saw things shifting. One by one, they sold their shares too. In the end, InvestCorp bought half of Gucci. Now Maurizio and InvestCorp owned Gucci together. Even though InvestCorp had half, they let Maurizio run it. Maurizio was in charge. He could finally try his big idea for Gucci. 4. Maurizio's dream and fall. Maurizio now controlled Gucci. He had a dream for the brand. He wanted Gucci classic and top quality. He saw Gucci elegant and special again. He wanted products beautiful, well-made, nice to touch. To show his dream, Maurizio built a big office in Milan. It cost a lot. He filled it with old, pretty furniture. He spent tons of money on everything. Maurizio wanted the best for Gucci, but spending so much caused trouble. Gucci got big debts. Then Maurizio made a surprising choice. He stopped making some popular Gucci products, the Gigi accessories. These bags and items with the Gigi logo made lots of money. But Maurizio thought they weren't fancy enough for his new Gucci. This hurt Gucci's money. The company lost cash fast. Gucci was in danger. They couldn't pay workers or the companies making their products. Gucci was almost broke. This meant it might close with no money left. Investcorp, who owned half with Maurizio, got worried. They gave Maurizio a chance for his dream, but saw Gucci losing more and more. Investcorp said no more money for Maurizio. They were scared of losing everything. Maurizio begged for more time. He believed Gucci could improve. He said people need time to see the new Gucci. He thought 6 more months would fix it. He believed customers, especially in Japan, would buy again. But Investcorp didn't trust him. They took action. They wanted Maurizio out. They worked hard to push him away. In the end, Investcorp bought Mauricio's Gucci shares. They paid him $150 million. Maurizio lost control of the company he loved. His dream for Gucci turned into a money mess, and he fell from power. 5. Murder and mystery. In 1995, something awful happened. Maurizio Gucci was killed. One morning in March, he walked to his office in Milan. Suddenly, a man came behind and shot him. Maurizio died right away. People were shocked. Who wanted Maurizio dead? It was a big mystery. The police started looking. They checked his business, his family. The Gucci family had many fights. They talked to his cousins and his ex-wife, Patricia. But at first, they found nothing. For 2 years, the case was cold. That means no clues, no suspects. Then, something changed. Someone told the police a secret. Early one morning at 5:30 a.m., police went to Patricia Gucci's home. They arrested her. Why Patricia? People said she was crazy about Maurizio. Even after they split, she watched his life. She was mad and wanted him gone forever. People heard her say she wanted him dead. The police thought she paid someone to kill him. Mauricio's death was a sad end to his story. He tried to make Gucci great. He had a dream, but lost the company. Then he lost his life. The Gucci family story is about starting, growing, and then, sadly, breaking and tragedy. After 3 generations, the family lost the business and had big personal loss. For old, famous brands like Gucci, new ideas matter. Maurizio, though his time was tough, helped start Gucci's next step. But his story also shows the dark side of family, power, and money. After Maurizio left, people knew Gucci needed something new. He had started changes. One big thing was hiring Dawn Mello. She was an American who knew fashion. Dawn Mello hired Tom Ford. At the same time, Domenico de Sole got more important in Gucci. He was a lawyer for the family for years. He became the boss of daily work. Domenico believed in Tom Ford's ideas. He thought Tom could make Gucci great again. Domenico met Tom Ford. Tom was young with fresh ideas. Domenico said, "I think we can fix Gucci." He gave Tom freedom to create. Domenico said, "I handle business, you handle the creative part." Tom agreed. This started a great teamwork. People called it the Tom Dom era. Tom Ford changed Gucci a lot. First, he brought back the Gucci logo. Maurizio had stopped it, but Tom made it cool again. He made the logo stylish and wanted. Tom designed clothes very different. They were sexy and modern. He brought sexy back to Gucci. His designs got noticed everywhere. People loved the new Gucci style. Fashion magazines wrote about him. Famous people wore his clothes. Tom's changes made a big difference. Gucci sales of clothes and bags went up fast. In 1995, sales doubled. The company made lots of money. This success was bigger than anyone thought. Tom Ford and Domenico de Sole worked so well together. Tom had creative ideas. Domenico ran the business. Because Gucci did great, Investcorp, who owned part, decided to sell shares to everyone. This is called an IPO, a big sale on the stock market. But there was a problem. Back then, stock buyers didn't know much about fashion. Domenico and his team had to teach them. They explained how fancy brands work. They showed why Gucci was a good buy. They gave talks to experts. The Gucci IPO in 1995 was a huge win. Shares sold for $22 each, but soon jumped to $26. More people wanted shares than there were. It was exciting. The IPO made over $2 billion for Investcorp. The Gucci IPO mattered for another reason too. It started a fancy goods section in the money world. After Gucci, other fancy brands sold shares too. Gucci proved fashion could be a great business and investment. The Tom Ford time was full of change and wins for Gucci. Tom's designs and Domenico's skills turned Gucci from trouble to a top, stylish brand again. They brought Gucci back to the top of fashion, more famous than ever. After Gucci went on the stock market, things changed. Being public made Gucci strong but open to risks. If share prices fell, other companies could buy Gucci. Around 1997, a big money problem hit Asia. This was the Asian financial crisis. Asia, like Japan, was key for fancy brands like Gucci. When the crisis hit, people in Asia bought less fancy stuff. This made Gucci shares drop. Then a big company, LVMH, started buying Gucci shares. LVMH was led by Bernard Arnault. LVMH owned famous brands like Louis Vuitton and Dior. They wanted to take over Gucci. Domenico de Sole, Gucci's boss, didn't want this. He worried LVMH would take Gucci without paying fair to all share owners. He saw it as a slow takeover. He knew LVMH was a rival. Domenico and his team tried to protect Gucci. They made it tough for LVMH to buy more shares. They gave more shares to Gucci workers. This lowered LVMH's power. But Domenico knew they couldn't fight LVMH alone forever. He needed help. Then François Pinault came in. Pinault ran PPR, a big shopping company. Pinault offered to buy Gucci shares and team up. He was like a hero saving Gucci from LVMH. Pinault made a deal with Domenico. PPR bought a big part of Gucci. This stopped LVMH from winning. But Pinault had a bigger plan than just saving Gucci. He wanted a group of many fancy brands like LVMH. He saw Gucci as the heart of this group. First, Pinault bought Yves Saint Laurent, a famous fashion name. He gave Tom Ford and Domenico the job of running Yves Saint Laurent with Gucci. Pinault wanted them to buy and run more brands. After Yves Saint Laurent, Gucci, and PPR bought many brands fast. These were Alexander McQueen, Stella McCartney, and Balenciaga. It was hard work for Tom and Domenico. They ran Gucci, Yves Saint Laurent, and all these new brands. It was busy and tough, but it started Gucci growing into a bigger, stronger group in the fancy world. 8 new changes. After 5 years, the deal with Mr. Pinault was ending. Mr. Pinault decided to buy all of Gucci. He took 100% of the company. This meant big changes for Tom and Domenico. New deals were offered to Tom and Domenico. But things were different now. They saw they wouldn't have the same freedom as before. They ran Gucci like their own for years. Now Pinault had full power. Tom and Domenico thought hard. They chose to leave Gucci. This shocked everyone in fashion. People couldn't believe it. Tom Ford and Domenico de Sole were so successful together. They changed Gucci completely. Their teamwork became big in the fancy business. They showed how creative and business people can work together. This Tom Dom way set a rule for other brands. Many tried to copy their success. Even after Tom and Domenico left, Gucci kept doing well. Some wondered if Gucci would fail without them. But Gucci was strong. The brand showed it could change and grow. Gucci kept making itself new. It changed what sexy meant. Before, Tom Ford made Gucci very sexy in a bold way. But Gucci changed again. It started using mixed gender ideas. They used non-binary styles. This new look got popular with young people, especially millennials. This new path kept Gucci successful. The brand grew and was loved by many. Gucci proved it could fit the times and stay a top fashion name. Even with new changes, Gucci stayed a strong and exciting name in fashion. That's the end of the Gucci story. You heard about a family, their famous brand, and how it changed over time. From big wins to fights and a sad murder, Gucci is still here today. What do you think of Gucci's story? Thank you for listening, and see you next time.